This is Meir, a day before my lecture. I will never forget the picture that I saw that Sonia, my good therapist in Brazil, have shown me. A woman came to the clinic where she was teaching people to relate and to adjust to the blindness. And a doctor sent her because he was sure that the infant that came with her mother would be blind for life because she did not have an iris. Iris is so important because the pupils are in the iris, and when the pupils constrict, your vision is much clearer in the light. And when they expand, your vision is much clearer in the dark, and they give you the color, and they also have a place for your blood flow within the eye. So she did not have an iris. And the mother cried and said, "My daughter will be blind." The ophthalmologist said so. And Sonia saw that the daughter had some response to light. And she said to the mother, "Could you have a faith that your daughter may see?" And the mother said, "No," but then somehow the souls of those two nice ladies met, and she said, "Maybe yes." And they worked for 4 months diligently, did the sunning exercise by holding the infant and moving her from side to side in the sun, blinking lights in her eyes in a dark room, palming her by putting the hands over her eye orbits. All those exercises that I teach, but translated to an infant who is 4 months old. So basically done in a way that works for an infant. 4 months later, completely normal irises in both eyes were formed. Her ophthalmologist had no idea how that happened. Sonia was feeling so blessed, as she's a very devout religious woman, and the mother felt that God kissed her daughter. Well, that can happen to infants. I'll never forget how a grandmother of one of my clients gave me a call, and she said he was born without the central part of his vision. We call it the macula in his right eye. "Should we just give up on that area?" she asked me. I said, "No way." And I gave them the exercise of touching his left eye and blinking lights in the dark. And it was so funny. She called me from Brazil. I went to England to teach, came back, and then she called me again and she said, "Oh, the doctor said they made a mistake. He does have a macula, just very scarred." And then I've shown them more exercises, what they do with him in the light. And then the diagnosis was, it was all a mistake. He has a normal macula. And I met that kid years later, and his vision is actually very good. Now, with infants, we can do a lot of things that we cannot do with adults. Infants can change organs. Infant can even grow sometimes pinkies if they got cut or injured. We adults cannot do that. But it's very interesting what one doctor told me, that they used to have a surgery, which I don't think they do anymore, where if somebody lost his or her thumb, they would cut their big toe and replace the thumb with the big toe. And within 2 years, in 2/3 of the cases, the toe had the shape of thumb, which means that function affected structure. Well, just the other day, I was called by a client of mine who moved to Georgia and told me that she was diagnosed with narrow angle glaucoma, which means there's a narrow angle in the canal that drains the fluid towards the nose of the eye, And the doctors are very afraid of that. And she did work with me, and she was re-diagnosed a year later with a normal angle glaucoma, which means the place itself opened up with the exercises that we did. We can make big changes in the body. A stoop back could be a straight back. A hunchback could be a flat back. We can change our shape in a beautiful way, and it's not only with weightlifting that many people are looking at. We can also change the movement of our joints, and we can change the structure of our retina. A lady called me with macular puckered, and she only wanted to do Zoom with me, so we did classes online, and a puckered nearly disappeared. Structural change. So we cannot change structures like an infant can, but we can change the structures to a great extent just because we can function better. And the key word is function affects structure and thoughts affect function. My lecture this coming Thursday, March 2nd, to learn that in a real way on you and your body and your family. Many blessings to all of you. Meir.